Hi everybody. So I apologize that it's been over 4 months since my last video. On July 26th, my diagnosis of sarcoidosis was confirmed. And over the past 4.5 months, I have been getting sicker and I have gone on long-term disability. And I have been working with a therapist to accept my new life. I also tried a couple of months of, come on brain, methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy drug. Those were the 2 months of this year that I thought I did not have an infection. Did not like methotrexate. I felt like my death was imminent and I needed to get my affairs in order. I felt like I had dementia. But then I got a surgeon that was willing to put in a port, and he said you have to stop the methotrexate so that we can do that. And at the same time, I found out that the staph infection in my left maxillary sinus had returned. And so I had to stop it for that as well. And so having a staph infection feels better than chemo. Yeah, so since then I have finished the antibiotics for the staph infection. I went to my ENT yesterday and he said, anybody else, I would say you look great, you're good to go. But with you, there's a little crust in there. And so he did an extra, I've had a couple of cultures of my sinus, but this time he did a special culture and he's sending it away for a DNA test. It's not my DNA, it's the DNA of the little guys that live in my sinus, all the bacteria and viruses, whoever's in there. We're gonna get their DNA. Because he said the antibiotic that I just finished is strong enough that it's supposed to kill MRSA, and I do not have MRSA. So yeah, it's just that if I were a normal person, they would have taken the antibiotics and the infection would be gone. I'm not normal. I have sarcoidosis. I have a compromised immune system, and so infections, I feel like the methotrexate, I feel like there was a little bit that we didn't get, and the methotrexate was like fertilizer. And so I'm back to, I know I said this in my last video because I just watched it. I think we're just gonna have to treat symptoms, and I need to accept that I can't fix this. And that is painful. That is hard for me. And that's not what I wanted to make this video about. So, I'm gonna tell you, I want to tell you about the port. That's why I'm making the video, but first I'm gonna tell you something else. I had like this breakthrough with my therapist on the last time I talked to her. And I have had a lot of anger towards the medical community. Doctors can make me mad so easily. I just have a short fuse with doctors, and that's not normal for me. And it's been getting worse. And so on Tuesday, I actually got really irritated with my therapist, and it was because we had a miscommunication about what time my appointment was. And I thought that she was wrong. She just needed to apologize. But my reaction was like more than it should be. And of course, being a great therapist, instead of just accepting that or apologizing or whatever, she decided to dig. You know, they like to pick scabs, and it made me realize I had an expectation. I grew up with an expectation that if you don't feel good, if you're sick, you go to the doctor tells you what's wrong, and then they tell you how to fix it, or they fix it right there in the office. So that was my expectation every single time. It started last December. I went to the emergency room because I didn't feel right. It was so bad that I couldn't even tell them my symptoms because I didn't understand what was happening. they didn't fix anything. And I've been to the doctor I don't know how many times since, and emergency room visits, and so many things, and nobody has fixed it. And so that's why I have this underlying anger, the unmet expectations, and I'm letting that go. This year I'm learning that expectations cause pain, because you can't have everything that you want. And so it's just better to accept life, accept what's happening, and be happy. Because if you're not expecting anything, then it doesn't hurt as bad. Yeah, so I just noticed this horrible glare on my glasses. I'll just take them off. Okay, I want to tell you about the port. So this is what it looks like. Oh, that glare. See that? It looks huge there. Fortunately, it's not quite that big. Well, no, I don't think it's that big. So the nurses kept saying, you need a port, you need a port, you need a port. I get IV fluids twice a week because I'm chronically dehydrated. The doctors don't know why. They've done a gazillion tests. It's probably from my dysautonomia. But, you know, I still want answers. So anyway, I went and got the port, and so they made 2 incisions. There's one here in my chest, there's one in my neck, and actually I'm going to get IV fluids today in this port for the first time. And so I've got this cream. It's coming out already. It's lidocaine and prilocaine. So it's got the worst lid ever. Whoever invented this lid, fail. Epic fail. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on here because this is where they're gonna put the needle. And I am so anxious and so stressed about this. So I went on Monday and they were supposed to do it then. But I just wiped that on my dress. And they were supposed to do it then, but I realized I didn't put the cream on. And before we went in the doors of the hospital, I was having full-blown panic. And actually I'm a little anxious today too. So we got in there and I was just so freaked out. They said, don't worry about it, we'll use your arm. But today we need to use the port. Had a massage yesterday to try to, so hold on, let me back up. So the port, that big part that I showed you, is right here. It's right there. And there's a tube, actually you can see that too, gross. It goes up here and it's sewn in place right there. That's why they had to cut me again. My poor neck, look, here's my mediastinoscopy. I'm all bruised right here and then, ugh. Anyway, so my muscles in my neck and my jaw, not happy campers. They are all just freaking out. And so I went to the doctor and she's like, what you really need is a massage. So fortunately I have an amazing massage therapist. His name is Josh. And he worked on me last night and I felt much better for about an hour. We'll be generous and say it was an hour. So it's gonna take time because my body really and truly, sorry, there's a bird out the window, really and truly does not like having this foreign object in it, and it wants it gone. I sure don't want another surgery. I did not enjoy surgery, but we won't get into that. So I am going today to get my first infusion. Oh, I was telling you about my massage therapist. He said that the anticipation is probably worse than actually having it done. So I'm hoping that he's right. And after I get it poked the first time, it will be easier. Because I just, needles in my chest. I've never done that. It doesn't feel like the right thing to do. But I need the fluids because I don't want to go to the emergency room for dehydration. All right, so sorry I've been talking a lot today, catching up for 4.5 months. But I will continue in the infusion center.